Do you ever look at your partner, maybe someone you've shared decades with, and feel a quiet panic? They're polite, they're agreeable, but the warmth you rely on, especially as the years advance and the world seems to speed up, just isn't there. You start to worry. Is this just the natural cooling of a long marriage, or are you facing the terrifying prospect of emotional abandonment late in life? We often mistake comfort for connection, but sometimes what looks like kindness is actually well-disguised indifference. Today, we're exposing the 5 seemingly nice behaviors that are massive red flags that your partner is emotionally checking out, and why understanding this now is absolutely crucial for protecting your future happiness. The first sign is actually the most peaceful, and that's what makes it so dangerous. They stop arguing with you completely.
I can't believe you did that again. We talked about this yesterday and you completely ignored me. Why do you always do this?
It sounds like a dream, right? After years of bickering over finances, retirement plans, or how to load the dishwasher, suddenly they just agree with everything you say. They're being nice. But here's the harsh reality. Conflict requires energy. Fighting, even about small things, means your partner is invested in the outcome of the relationship. They care enough to try and change your mind. When a partner is losing interest, they conserve their emotional energy. They no longer see the point in engaging because, frankly, they don't care what the outcome is. This isn't peace, it's resignation. If you say, let's move closer to the grandkids, and they just shrug and say, whatever you want, dear, without any discussion, they aren't being agreeable, they are emotionally detached. Now, pay attention to this second behavior because it's often disguised as support. They enthusiastically encourage your independent hobbies and friendships excessively. Of course, a healthy relationship requires space. But think about the shift. Did they used to want to join you sometimes? Did they at least ask detailed questions about your day? When a partner is checking out, they want to create physical distance to match the emotional distance they already feel. It seems nice that they tell you, oh, go on that week-long trip with your friends, you deserve it. Or, don't worry about me, I'll be fine here alone. They are making it easier for you to build a life without them, effectively reducing their own role and responsibility in the partnership. They are slowly, subtly isolating you while looking like a supportive spouse. Ask yourself, are they encouraging your independence or are they avoiding your presence? This brings us to the third very subtle sign. Their language becomes overly polite and formal. This is incredibly insidious, especially in long-term relationships where communication often becomes casual, full of inside jokes, nicknames, and a certain comfortable shorthand. When interest fades, intimacy is the first casualty. They stop using pet names. Instead of, can you grab me a coffee, it becomes, would you mind possibly getting me a cup of coffee if it isn't too much trouble? This formality creates a barrier. They are subconsciously shifting you from the category of intimate partner to the category of polite acquaintance, or worse, roommate. They are being nice, they are being respectful, but they are treating you like a guest in their home, not the person they've shared their life with. This shift in tone is a massive psychological distancing mechanism. Are you ready for the fourth sign? This one hits hard, especially when we are thinking about our golden years. They completely stop talking about the future. Remember when you used to planning the retirement budget, the trip you'd take when you both stopped working, maybe even discussing long-term care options? Now, silence. They're being nice by not burdening you with complex decisions, right? Wrong. If your partner deflects any conversation about next year, next month, or even next week, it's often because they cannot picture themselves with you in that future. They avoid making concrete plans because they don't want to commit to something they intend to leave. For those of us who rely on the security of a planned future as we age, this ambiguity is agonizing. The absence of future talk isn't about living in the moment, it's about planning an exit. The final nice behavior is perhaps the most counterintuitive of all. They stop asking you for help or favors. Think about it. They insist on carrying all the groceries. They try to fix the leaky faucet themselves, even if they aren't handy. They stop asking for your advice on a difficult work situation. It looks like they are being considerate and self-reliant. They don't want to burden you, but relationships are built on interdependence, the mutual exchange of support. When your partner stops needing you, they are actively untying the knots that bind the relationship together. They are proving to themselves and to you that they can function perfectly well on their own. This hyper-independence is a direct withdrawal from the partnership dynamic. When the desire to support and be supported vanishes, the relationship is already on life support. Recognizing these signs isn't about paranoia. It's about clarity. It's about understanding that indifference is far greater a threat than anger, and that sometimes the nicest behaviors hide the most painful truths. If recognizing these subtle shifts helped you see your relationship more clearly, please hit the like button. It genuinely tells us to keep tackling these difficult, real-life topics for our community, especially those issues that impact us later in life. And now I need you to be honest, because this is the hardest part. Which of these 5 signs scares you the most? Or which one have you noticed recently in your own life? Share your experience in the comments. Let's support each other through this.